Hey, okay, so because your procurement today that you did was like exclusively for this Peggy Shirley service, I'm gonna have you clock into that job and with the activity task of procurement. But just for future reference, like a lot of times when we're doing procurement runs, like in South Jersey or whatever, we're going 4 different nurseries for 10 different customers, and it's not gonna be clocking into a job. For those times in the future, you're gonna want to use the time window, and you'll find your name, and you'll just click procurement, and you'll clock in right here under that, and you'll just go buy all your stuff, whatever, and then go about your next task. But for today, you really were buying the stone for Peggy's garden installation. So that's on today's schedule because you were doing this procurement for it. So we can go ahead and click the service and clock in to the service garden installation. But we're going to clock in not as working. We're going to clock in under procurement because it really is what you were doing. And you wanted it's just you. It was just you today. And you weren't using any of this stuff. You used a truck and you are doing procurement. So you can just click those things. And unfortunately, you have to unclick every single thing. It's really annoying, and I'm sorry, but it only takes a few seconds. When you go to actually do the garden installation, this will be your load list. So it's pretty convenient. So procurement, your truck, Yusuf, and you're clocked in under activity procurement. So we're going to clock in here. So you can ignore that. That's just like that's on the work order notes if you want to see it. Because it's easier to do it in real time, but because it's 9 o'clock at night instead of 10 o'clock this morning, I'm just going to clock you in and clock you out real quick, and then we edit those times before we submit everything. So I'm going to clock you out of procurement. And then what we need to do is go back to, I guess it was that same job as what you were loading for, wasn't it? What, it didn't clock you out. Okay. So I guess you're loading for garden installation. I don't really know what you loaded for today, but I don't think it matters too much. We're gonna clock in again as working because you loaded up the truck, right? So you can uncheck the procurement piece. You and the truck working. Remember, there's no load, there's no travel. When you are working, time that's billable to a service, to a job, to a customer, if it's billable time, it's just called working. Procurement is the exception to that. So we'll clock in as working. Here's that same alert. This is just talking about substitutions and different time stuff. Again, these are called the work order notes, and they are all on the work order. So you'll see them on your paper, and you can see them right here. This is basically telling you, like, okay, you've got 8 hours total to load for this whole service. Here's all the different time estimates, and then there's 3 plant substitutions. This is all in the work order notes. And you just click the service. Click that weird little like thing next to the R button. It looks like a dialog box, and that's how you get those details. Okay, we're just gonna clock out of that again real quick. Clock out of working. Working again is is your loading thing. Clocking out of that, and so we're just gonna review. It's just a little checklist it's a reminder checklist. You don't have to worry about it. So there's 2 tracks. So this morning you got in at 10, I think you said, and not 10:04. How annoying is that? You can just type it in. You got in at 10, and I think you said that you did the HEPCO run until like 12:45 p.m. And then you loaded the truck, which was the working time. You loaded the truck from 12:45 to 1:15, and that was your day. Right. So we're going to save those times. And completing the service just means that you're like completed for the day. Like obviously the Shirley's garden installation is not completed, but for today it is. Just means like you're done and you're going home. Okay? That's it. I'll make another video for you again tomorrow, or however many you need as the scenarios change. Okay, thanks.